So the other day, I was with a group of friends just sitting back watching anime, and something hit me. We were watching the anime Claymore, and I started to really wonder, does Claymore hold up in 2022? So, for those who don't know what Claymore is and clicked on this, let me go into a brief description for you on what it is. In the world rifled with deadly creatures called Yoma, a young silver-eyed woman named Claire works on behalf of an organization that trains female Yoma half-breeds into warriors with the ability to destroy these creatures. Considered a rogue by picking up a stray child and almost losing herself to her Yoma side by awakening, she is constantly assigned to rather dangerous missions. Now, this anime is about the female named Claire. She is our young protagonist who is in the class of creatures that are half-breed. She is half Yoma, half human. And they do this through some ritual thing that they don't discuss in the anime. They might discuss in the manga, I'm not sure. Just talking strictly about the anime. By the way, this is going to be a no-spoiler review and comparison. Just want to throw that out there before you make assumptions and click off the video. But she goes on these quests to kill these creatures that are called Yomas. These are creatures, like devil creatures that go and kill people and eat them and feast on their blood. And it's the Claymore's jobs with the organization to defend these towns, and the towns pay up after the job is done, and if the town doesn't pay up, they just disappear because the Claymores never come and help them again. But you follow our young protagonist Claire, who is 19 at the time of the anime, I believe. So a lot of things can make an anime memorable and can help it stand up. There are three key factors, well, four, I'm going to address four in this. The intro was very memorable, and yeah, it's a little dated, but we'll talk about it. Number two, Claire is a very good, well-written character, as well as a bunch of other characters that are brought into this that they touch upon. The world building is super solid, and it is very clean, and I really love it, and they do a very solid, good job, and more than other animes, but we'll talk about that. And then there's not a lot of strong lead. Yeah, it does the classic transition over, do this, do that, but it's a very good song, and it really is memorable with the cutscenes. It gets characters you know, and you get to know in there. It shows the face. It does a lot of good transitions and hints at some things that happen on, and as well as a very good beat. Like, it is one of the, it's a very good bop. A lot of people remember it, and a lot of people can actually put it up on their list. I was talking to a bunch of different people at a convention I went to not too long ago, and they were saying that, without any prompts, by the way, keep that in mind, Claymore is still a good anime when it comes to the intro. The intro is very memorable, and I have to agree with that. Compared to other stuff, I was going through my playlist of some old things from when I started watching anime, like getting back into it. So like I'd say about 2013, 2014-ish. It's better than some of the anime I watched then, and that's, what, 7 years later after Claymore came out? That can at least tell you that the music is good, it's solid. It is something that people can keep in mind and put on a list to listen while we're going down the street. It's that good, and they chose a very good soundtrack to put with it. Claire, she is a very well-written main character. There are a lot of anime out there where they hardly talk about the main character or focus on side characters more, or where they focus on the main character, they just don't do much with them. They just leave it be, and they just mention a couple things here and there, spread throughout. Now, I'll give an example. Classroom of the Elites. I love it. It's a very good series. I enjoy it. Ready for season 3, by the way. We saw the announcer. Ready for season 3. But in the first season of the anime, they did not really talk about our main character. They did not build up anything. I get it. Leave in suspense. They talked more about the side characters than anything else. And they talked about our female main character, but they didn't talk about the main character. Until the very end, they hinted at something. And there was little hints here and there, but they never really addressed anything. He is, hidden. He is and it's like that in the books, don't get me wrong. I read the light novels. It's like that too, but it doesn't, the light novels at least hint at stuff, like flat out. They say, yeah, this is, my flashback, or there's this, that. There was no flashbacks, no nothing. A little bit of flashbacks here and there, but nothing to really hint at it. What I'm saying is, they did a very good job with Claire's backstory. It was 3 episodes right off the bat after the first, it was 3 through 6, I believe, or 4 through 6, where it talks about her, Priscilla, which is one of the main antagonists. It talks about Teresa, the faint smile, who is the Claymore that picked her up and ended up loving her and caring for her to which something happens, which I don't want to talk about, and it becomes relevant later on. And they do a good job bringing these people up. Even Priscilla, who they throw in real quick and they'll later throw on in the rest of the anime, they address some important key factors that keeps her in the back of your mind while you're watching this anime. Same for Teresa. How strong it is, no one really knows how strong Teresa could be throughout this anime. It's just, they do such a good job. And I bet in the manga, it's even better. And I'm picking up the series as we speak, so before you start yelling at me in the comments, I am working on it. It's just, it's a lot, and it's expensive, and older manga is getting very hard to find. So what I'm saying is, when it comes to main character building, yes, it's some of the best I've seen, but there are better anime out there that obviously do it. And then there's anime that don't even touch on it. So this is a good sweet spot where you know who Claire is. You remember her weaknesses. You remember her strengths. You remember what she is. I'd want to throw out, though, the guy that I'm glad they get rid of halfway through, and then he comes back near the end. Rocky is so annoying. He needs to be put down. He is so useless, but he becomes a driving point in the anime, and it makes me upset. I just want to throw that out there. I want to give my opinion on him. He's annoying and needs to be shot and put out back. Take him out, old Yellowstone, personally. Anyway, going back to building up. The world building is phenomenal. They do so good with building up these little towns, giving the details, making it well known how the Claymores are world renowned. Everyone knows who a Claymore is the moment they step through a city. They have their iconic armor. They have the iconic dead like pan look in their eyes. They all know we gotta pay them up. There is like a system that's built in, and it just works. They show each town. They give each town a little bit of memorable characteristics. They make, the town folks stand out a little bit each town. What I'm saying is the world building overall is great, and they even bring in a little bit of religious aspect early on, though they don't retouch it in the anime, but it shows that there is a lot going on in this world. It's not just cut dry, devils, demons, whatever, versus humans. Yeah, it's that, but there's also human aspects of it, where there's bandits, there's these murderers, there's thieves, all that stuff mixed in. Then you got the church with their crusade and whatever they're doing. Brings a lot to light, and they do a very good job with world building. And that is one thing that I've really loved to see. I'm a big fan of world building and world politics, especially when it comes to isekais. I love the politics in isekais, especially when they're done really good. It dabbles in the politics, but mostly on the religious side, and as well as how the world works and how the Claymores are worked into this world and how essential they are. Because a normal person can't kill a Yoma. They have to use these females to kill the Yoma. And it drives that point home very good and very clear. And the last thing I want to address is that Claire is such a good main character, the strong female lead, and there are other strong females in this show. That's literally the show with strong females. Yes, before I know, yeah, that's the whole thing. But what I'm saying is there's not a lot of strong female leads. Yes, there are female leads everywhere you look. The last strong female lead that I can think of personally is Revi from Black Lagoon. She is a strong female lead. She don't take no shit. She don't need your shit. She can do whatever she wants. And around that time, that's what stands out to me, is those female leads. I don't see much of that anymore. I'm sure there are some out there. I'm not saying that there's not, but they're hard to find and they're less common than they used to be. And yes, I know there are female leads. You got Cardcaptor Sakura, you got Madoka Magica, you got Made in Abyss, you have Girls Tour, or Last Girls Tour, whatever, the one with the girls with the tank and they're driving around. Main character, like, female leads. There's plenty of them out there. There's the ones I can just think of off the top of my head. But what I'm saying is super strong female leads that you see time and time and time again. It's not a situational thing. It's this is how she works. This is how she runs. Yes, she has a soft side, but she is overall a rock. She is someone people can depend on and get through any situation that is put in front of her. I really love female leads like that, and they really touch upon it, and they beautiful, gorgeous. So back to the main question: does Claymore hold up in 2022? Overall, yes. There are some lacking points. That every anime has lacking points. Don't get me wrong. There's no perfect anime out there. Even the one that's voted the most perfect on my anime list, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, has weak points here and there. Overall, it's one of the best things ever written. I agree with that. But everywhere has weak spots, and that's something you have to accept. And it's just the balance and give or take on what's good, what's bad. Overall, Claymore is a good 8, 9 out of 10 anime. Very solid, very good story. It fell in the case of It got ahead of the manga, so it made its own ending. Even the ending was still good. Even though they made it their own, it is still good. And it could lead off to a season 2 if they wanted to follow that route, or if they want to revamp it from a certain point, kind of like how Blue Exorcist did. They brought the Kyoto arc in, nullifying the second half of the first, like, Blue Exorcist. You know, the first 12 was canon, but the other, you know how it goes. They could do that. So, I say go watch Claymore if you haven't, and that's it. I mean, it holds up. I don't know what to tell you. It holds up. Let me know what you guys think down below about it. Let me know if you guys seen Claymore, if you got any questions about it. I did a no spoiler, big thing on it. But until next time, guys, I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.